Assalamu alaikum. So today we would be talking about the integrated management of neonatal and childhood illnesses. So actually, last time another lecture of IMNCI, Integrated Management of Neonatal and Childhood Illnesses, was taken by Dr. Khalid Shafi. So basically, he talked about the clinical management. So, as far as this clinical management is concerned, you would be learning this also. You also will be taught about clinical management of IMNCI in pediatrics. Here, basically, we would be talking about what actually is meant by IMNCI, the advantage of IMNCI, and why this strategy has been implemented. So we would be talking about from community media से यार ये बार बार बीच में ट्यून हो रहा है इसकी आवाज of you. What is the importance of IMNCI and why it is being management? So basic concept and the basic objectives behind the IMNCI we would be discussing today. यार ये जो नए स्टूडेंट एडमिट हो रहे हैं ना इनके बहुत ज्यादा ये बेल की आवाज आ रही है। तो अनीस ये प्लीज इसको आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं ये आवाज ना आए। So if we see what happens worldwide, millions of parents take their sick children every day to healthcare providers, HCPs. We have the idea throughout world. Millions of the parents are taking their children who are sick. They are taking them every day to healthcare providers. The doctors, healthcare providers means maybe doctors, nurses, pharmacists, traditional healers at clinics, hospitals, and health centers. The purpose is to seek treatment and health care. So we have the idea. If we see in our community, if we see in our surrounding, if we see in our city, if we see in our province, in our country, in our subcontinent, in continent, and throughout world. So millions of the parents have to take their sick children every day. This is a daily routine practice. They are taking their children to healthcare providers to seek treatment and healthcare. But the research shows that a substantial number of these sick children is not assessed and treated correctly by these healthcare providers. So this is a very much unfortunate situation. So a big number of those people, of those sick children who are being taken by their parents to healthcare providers, so they are not being assessed and treated correctly by these healthcare providers. And the parents are not even guided properly. So not only they are not assessed properly, they are not assessed and treated correctly, but the parents are not also guided properly. So the governments of especially low-income countries usually do not supply drugs and equipment in sufficient amounts. We have idea, and we are unfortunately one of those countries of low-income countries where the governments generally do not supply drugs and equipment in sufficient amounts. Especially at primary health care facilities. To certain extent these drugs and equipments are supplied at tertiary level care, but especially at primary health care facilities, these are not being supplied sufficiently. And at these primary healthcare facilities, the diagnostic support like radiology and the laboratory services are often negligible or usually non-existent. So because of mismanaged health facilities and lack of enough supplies, so we do not have enough supplies, one of the biggest issue. And another also important issue is of mismanaged health facilities. So what happens, there is generally an irregular flow of patients and is seriously ill usually prefer to go directly to higher level care health facilities. So not only seriously ill patient, but in many cases, if the patients can approach directly to tertiary level care facilities, so even for their not only for their serious health issues, but even for their minor ailments, people prefer to go directly to tertiary level care facilities, and this usually does not happen in the developed world, where the patient is being assessed at a primary healthcare facility, and then if there is a need, they are referred to higher level care facility. So the posted there have, so what happens in primary healthcare level facilities where resources are very much scarce, resources are there, and diagnostic laboratory, radiology, other facilities are non-existent. So the doctors posted there have to rely on history and signs and symptoms. So they will have to rely on the history and signs and symptoms to deal with the serious and complicated patients due to non-availability of supporting facilities. Supporting facilities means diagnostic facilities. So this is a based way of treating critical health conditions with available resources. So very much limited resources are there, and no supporting facilities are there, and they are sitting in very much a remote area. So they have to treat the patient in these existing situations. So they have to depend only upon the history and signs and symptoms. So the provision of quality health care to sick children is therefore a serious challenge. Why it is a challenge? Because resources are not there, no diagnostic facilities are there. So therefore, they have to rely only on history and signs and symptoms. So therefore, the provision of quality health care to sick children is a serious challenge. So the WHO, in association with UNICEF and other agencies, in 1992 initiated a strategy. Because of this situation, in 1992, WHO and UNICEF, in collaboration with other agencies, also initiated a strategy that is called Integrated Management of Childhood Illness. The purpose was, what was the aim of this IMCI? The purpose was diminishing under 5 mortality, morbidity, and disability, and improving child growth and development. This was the overall aim of initiating integrated management of childhood illness strategy. So this strategy for achieving the best possible outcome in the management of sick children promotes an integrated approach. So what is being done in this strategy, through this strategy? This strategy is basically promoting an integrated approach. So IMCI is a systematic approach to treat a sick child where the focus is always on the whole child but not a single disease. So we will now learn what we actually mean by dealing whole child, not a single disease. So this is a systematic approach where sick children are treated and the focus is always on the whole of the child, not a single disease. So around 10 million, what happens? Around 10 million children of below 5 years age die in a year. This is a bitter fact. 10 million children are dying. 10 million children of below 5 years age die in a year. So more than 70% of these deaths occur in poor developing countries. And these deaths are mainly due to acute respiratory infections, diarrhea, malaria, measles, and malnutrition. And often there is a combination of these conditions. So there are several effective prevention and treatment approaches for saving these young lives. So these approaches, if we follow these approaches, many of the deaths could be avoided by following those effective prevention and treatment approaches. For example, there has been a significant decline in child death rate with the vaccinations against measles. So simple approach. And then ORT, oral rehydration therapy with ORS for diarrheal diseases, antibiotics for pneumonia, early and quick treatment of malaria. So these are simple approaches. If we are following these approaches, many deaths of children under 5 could be avoided. So even slight, very simple approach, even slight growth in breastfeeding practices has markedly declined the child mortality. So though each of these interventions has been very successful in diminishing morbidity and mortality of young children, yet a more integrated approach to manage sick children is required to attain better outcomes. So we are following those approaches vertically, one by one. If we follow an integrated approach, the sick children could be managed more effectively. So instead of attempting against a single disease, it is necessary to address the overall health and well-being of the child. So this approach is needed. So instead of attempting single disease, it is necessary to address the overall health and well-being of the child. So because many sick children have overlapping signs and symptoms of disease, and a single diagnosis could be difficult due to lack of facilities. So many overlapping signs and symptoms of disease the children are having, many overlapping signs and symptoms of disease. Diagnostic facilities are not there in remote areas. So what is needed? The need is to take child as a whole, integrated approach, not to think about only a single disease, but to manage a child as a whole, overall health, where we are addressing the overall health and well-being of the child. So this is a common practice, particularly at first level care facilities, where instruments or equipment, laboratory and radiology facilities are often not available. So the research has revealed that a proper and better health care of children does not always need the use of sophisticated and expensive technologies. So this is the research is showing. For a proper and better health care of children, so it is not necessary always वो use sophisticated and expensive technologies. So the initial objective of this strategy was to improve care at the first level health facilities, where millions of children are brought daily to seek health care. So majority of them with one or more of the main causes of disease and death. So this strategy has now been expanded to include all the neonates. So initially it was integrated management of childhood illnesses, IMCI. So now this strategy has been expanded, and the neonates have also been included in this strategy, and it has been sorry. So it has been renamed as integrated management of neonatal. Word neonatal has been added. So integrated management of neonatal and childhood illnesses. This is IMNCI. So this strategy in healthcare facilities promotes the correct identification of childhood illnesses in outpatient settings. So this is, we have to keep in mind that this is basically a strategy is basically for outpatient settings. And this is ensures the proper combined treatment of all main diseases. So this is very much important. We will have to keep in mind this study is ensures the proper combined treatment for all of the main diseases of children. So this enhances the counseling of caretakers. So not only the child is being treated, but this strategy is also enhancing the counseling of caretakers, and also promotes the referral of severely ill children. Not only the child is being treated, sick child is treated at a primary level care health facility. This also is enhancing the counseling of caretakers, and this also is promoting referral of severely ill children. So in the home setting, it encourages appropriate care setting, appropriate care seeking behaviors, improved nutrition and preventive care, and the accurate advice care. So this also is included in IMNCI strategy. So the objective of IMNCI are to decrease death and the frequency and severity of disease and disability related with the major causes of childhood illnesses, and to improve physical growth and mental development of children of up to 5 years age. So the base of IMNCI strategy is a chart booklet which contains guidelines for proper management of childhood illnesses at first level health facilities. So basically, when we go through the training of the management of a child below the age of 5 years, so for that strategy, there is a chart booklet where various charts are being given there, and there are guidelines. Whenever a sick child is coming at healthcare facility where you are treating a child and there are no facilities, other facilities are not available, you are sitting in a far-flung area, so you have to follow that chart booklet. As per chart booklet, certain guidelines are there. Whenever a child is brought, you have to identify the disease, the illness of the sick child. Then you have to identify, then you have to classify, and then you have to treat the child accordingly. And as per those signs and symptoms, if the child is severely ill, then after giving the first dose or initial supportive therapy, the child is referred to higher level care facility. So we will be discussing those things. So basically, this management you will be learning in pediatrics. So, but we are talking about the basic components in chart booklet. So, where in this way, the child either is sent back to the home with some advices, are being treated at the health facility, are being referred, and also it covers immunization, anemia, the Bond's conditions, vitamin A deficiency. So all these components are being covered in this strategy. So these clinical guidelines are for the outpatient management of priority conditions in sick children below 5 years of age. So the training of the strategy enables healthcare providers at primary health care level to obtain or strengthen the clinical and communication skills necessary to use the guidelines. So not only through this training, the healthcare providers learn how to manage the child, but also this is for to obtain or strengthen the clinical and communication skills. So this is improving both clinical and also communication skills, which are necessary to use these guidelines. The guidelines help detect more than one health problem in a sick child and manage those issues through an integrated approach. So basically, there is an integrated approach, and here the healthcare providers do not go for diagnosis of a single disease. So the child is being treated on the basis of signs and symptoms without sophisticated technology, without the use of, without the help of diagnostic facilities, including laboratory or radiology facilities. So, by dealing with whole the child, but not only one disease at a time, whole of the child, basically, we are dealing there with the main problems, main health issues of children up to 5 years of age. They are being managed there. If a referral is needed, then they are referred to higher level care facilities. So the feeding practices and nutritional status are also assessed. This is also included in this strategy, the feeding practices and nutritional status. So this strategy not only takes into account the health issues, but also deals with the risk and promotes health. For example, good feeding practices, including breastfeeding. The IMNCI protocol also contains the assessment of routine immunization. So in this way, integrated approach is there, in all the health related issues are being taken into account while managing the child through IMNCI, integrated management of neonatal and childhood illnesses. So there are basically three main components of IMNCI. So this strategy contains the both preventive and curative components. So without the use of technology, because of scarce resources, we do not have diagnostic facilities, we do not have other facilities at far-flung areas, remote areas. So through these strategies, we are basically going for preventive and curative components. So that are employed not only by healthcare providers at health facilities, but also by families at home and by communities as a whole. So preventive and curative components, not only employed by the healthcare providers, but also healthcare providers at health facilities, but also these are employed by families in their respective homes and by the communities as a whole. So IMNCI takes the health system and community together. So this is also very much important. So this strategy is taking the health system and the community together and promotes strong links between them. So there are three main components. So what are those three main components? One is main component of this IMNCI strategy is number one, very important, is the improving healthcare providers skills. This is number one. We have to, what is the overall aim, purpose? So three components are there. Number one, important component is of improving healthcare providers skills. So this includes both clinical and communication skills. Not only clinical, but also communication skills are very much important. So during pre-service education, so this is during pre-service education and in-service training, and for public as well as private health sector. So IMNCI strategy is not only for government but also for private health sector. So this is for improving healthcare providers' skills. And number two is improving health system to provide care as per IMNCI protocol. Number one is we are improving the skills of healthcare providers. And number two is improving health system to provide care. We have to improve health systems to provide health care as per IMNCI protocol. And this contains proper planning, management, and financing. So at health facilities, availability of healthcare providers and of drugs and supplies is ensured, and the health information system is established, and a swift referral system is developed. This is very much important. So whenever referral is required, a swift referral system is developed as the sick child could be referred without any delay. There is a continuous monitoring and supervision of all these activities. So we are there to improve health system to provide care as per IMNCI protocol. This is number two. And number three is improving child health care practices of family and community. So improving child health care practices of family and community. So how we are there to improve child health care practice of family and community. This may be achieved by promoting and adopting a 12 key family and community practices. So we will be just going through this 12 key family and community practices. So this is for improving child health care practices of family and community. So this strategy has greatly improved the child survival. This strategy of following 12 key family and community practices. So this has greatly improved the child survival, growth, and development. We go for meaning and concept of IMCI. So this is integrated. Integrated management of childhood illnesses. So what is meant by integrated? So this includes several features of the STP. So the eventual goal of The eventual goal of the integration is to provide holistic health care to children of up to 5 years age at a health facility, home, or in the community. So it is called integrated because it combines the curative, preventive, and development elements of child care into a single strategy, and it is to be managed by a team of various experts from key public health areas, and it facilitates the clinical management of main child health problems through a uniform, fully integrated approach learned in just one training course. And it is integrated because it creates a link between the services of the health system and the care providers in the community. And management, so this is for the both clinical and public health problems. So clinical management is based on signs and symptoms, and the classification of cases into defined categories of severity is based on presence or absence of predetermined signs and symptoms. So the importance is of the resulting action. So this particular classification enables healthcare providers to choose a management plan rather than make a specific diagnosis. So instead of going for a specific diagnosis, we are choosing a management plan for managing sick child at primary primary level care health facilities where diagnostic facilities are not available. So this is really too difficult at the level based on a science and clinical agency, because specific for going a specific diagnosis, it is too difficult. And we have to rely only on science and clinical exams. And for management, a sick child is classified into one of three groups highlighted with a color codes. If you see that chart booklet, so our charts are there. So for management, actually there is a classification and color codes are there. Red color means the severe condition and that requires immediate referral to the inpatient higher level care facility. So first of all, we have to identify and then we have to classify. First of all, identification, there is the identification of the condition of the child, and then is the classification. So we have to identify and classify according to the condition of the child, and then we go for management. So if it is red, okay, as per given the guidelines in chart booklets. So as per those guidelines, if it comes into the category of red, so it means the child needs an immediate referral. So by giving the first dose of required medication, the child is immediately referred to higher level care facility. There is a yellow color that indicates health condition of the child that can be managed at the healthcare facility with necessary follow-up. So if it comes in the yellow category, the child is treated at the health facility with necessary follow-up. And if it comes in green category, this suggests a very mild condition that needs a simple home care. The family or healthcare or the caretakers are advised to take home care of the sick child. Okay, so in management, in addition to the clinical management of sick children, the other related factors are also required to be recognized to provide effective child care. So these factors are contained both in the health system and in the community. So this aspect of healthcare symbolizes the public health element of management. And is the childhood, so meaning and concept of IMNCI. So integrated management and a childhood. Childhood, this represents the children of less than 5 years age. This is the most vulnerable age group, disease and death. So taking care of this age group will help develop the future society as a whole. So this is also the target of other programs like CDDs and ARIs. So, an illness is this includes those health problems of children that are the main cause of death, severe illness, or disability. So, for example, acute respiratory infections, diarrheal diseases, meningitis, and sepsis, malaria, measles, ear infection, malnutrition, and anemia. And all these health-related problems are being taken into account in this IMNCI strategy. And this is the evolution of IMNCI and EMRO, where it has been evolved from sick to healthy child approach. So around 1.5 million children below the age of 5 die every year in the EMRO. So nearly one death in every 20 seconds occurs in EMRO region, Eastern Mediterranean region. So Eastern Mediterranean and Pakistan is also in that region. So most of these lives last could be saved through the simple interventions contained in IMCI. So to effectively address this challenge, a change in child care strategy has been made that educates the foundation of child health in contrast to child survival. So, new concept addresses the child as a whole and emphasizes the importance of a more holistic approach that promotes the improved children's health rather than not acting till they get sick and then treat them. So IMCI strategy not only covers illness but also healthy growth and development of children. And it is therefore called the integrated management of child health to reflect the aim of going beyond illness. And stressing also on the prevention and health promotion. And if we see the IMNCI strategy in primary health care, so primary care, this is the basic thing. What we mean by primary care, this is the initial medical care given by a healthcare provider to a patient, and primary care is provided in the first contact with the healthcare providers in which most of the health problems are dealt with. And primary health care is a wider concept. Besides primary care services, it comprises the health promotion and disease control and prevention, and also population level public health activities are included in primary health care. And this is the technical definition of the primary health care. The essential health care made universally accessible to individuals and families in the community by means and methods that are practical, scientifically sound, and socially acceptable through their full participation in the cost that the community and the country can afford. So this we know this definition was adopted at a Almaty conference. So this is the piece. So what is the relationship of IMNCI with primary health care? We say the IMNCI is thought to be primary child health care. So this is public child health because it is the essential health care that deals with the main health problems of children below 5 years of age in a community or country based on epidemiological data. And the emphasis is not only on the decline of death and disease, but also on child development. So therefore, this is a public health. We say this is a public child health. IMNCI is based on scientifically sound methods. So we are adopting simple methods, and these are scientifically sound methods. As it has gone through a comprehensive process of research and expert estimation. So this strategy supports a technology that is affordable. So this is as per the definition of primary health care. So this strategy supports a technology that is affordable without modern equipment and lab facilities. So there is an integrated, not vertical, integrated, not a single. So integrated approach that assembles the major components of child care. And the community element of IMNCI supports community participation to achieve sustainability as per primary healthcare principle. Community participation at all levels. So this is the part of primary healthcare definition. So community participation here in IMNCI is in such a way that the community, the care providers, the family caretakers, the family as a whole, and the society and community as a whole is being encouraged to participate for the management of a sick child, for the improving of the health status, for the promotion of health of the children. So the focus of IMNCI is on the first level of contact of community with a national health system. So it helps offer quality child health care, particularly to the most deprived and needy. So IMNCI has been established as the most cost-effective strategy to cure and prevent illness and promote health. So at the start of IMCI in 1996, it was agreed upon by several countries, and now over 100 countries have employed this strategy. The implementation has shown very inspiring results worldwide, both in declining mortality and enhancing the quality of life of children. So the WHO and UNICEF coordinate and support IMNCI globally. And this is 12 key family and community practice. We are just finishing, so by having a quick look. So the WHO and UNICEF has recommended the 12 key family and community to improve child survival, growth, and development. So number one is exclusive breastfeeding up to 6 months. So we have to encourage this in IMNCI strategy. Exclusive breastfeeding up to 6 months of age. Number two, complementary feedings. That is to start at 6 months of age. Feed children freshly prepared foods in addition to breastfeeding for up to 2 years. And number three is micronutrients. Ensure the ample supply of micronutrients, especially vitamin A, iron, and zinc to children, either in their feed or through supplementation. Number four is hygiene. Ensure the safe disposal of excreta and other material and wash with soap hands after defecation before preparing food and feeding children. And number five is immunization. Complete the full course of vaccination according to the schedule. So all these 12 key family family and community practices are being encouraged through IMNCI strategy. Number six is malaria or bed nets. Protect children in malaria endemic areas by using insecticide-treated bed nets. And number seven is psychosocial development. Promote mental and social development by taking care of children's needs for care and also by talking, playing, and giving them an encouraging environment. Number eight is home care for illness. So do not stop, but always continue feeding to sick children. So give them more fluid according to age besides breast milk. And home treatment for infection. This is also being encouraged. The home treatment for infections provide sick children suitable home treatment or remedies for infections. And number 10 is care seeking That is, identify whether sick children require treatment outside the home and seek care from appropriate healthcare provider. And number 11 is the compliance with advice. So adhere to the advice of healthcare providers regarding the treatment, follow-up, and referral if required. Number 12 is antenatal care. So all the pregnant women should seek enough antenatal care for better outcome of pregnancy. So this comprises minimum 4 ANC antenatal care visits and receiving the recommended doses of tetanus toxoid. The mother should also be supported by her family and community for seeking care at the time of delivery and during postpartum and lactation period. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, any query or questions?
सर ऐड करें?
जी कोई अगर क्वेरीज हैं, क्वेश्चंस हैं तो क्या देखते हैं। अगर वो चैट लिखना चाहें स्टूडेंट तो उनको जवाब दे दो। कोई चैट में तो अभी